Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another AutoAudiography. That was rough. AutoAudiography video. I think this is 5, and today we're going to talk about a very important record in my life, and that is "Question the Answers" by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. All right, so "Question the Answers" by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. I forget what year it came out in. I know, well, I had it on CD. This was 2015. This came out, but the record, the actual recording came out. I want to say 95, maybe would be my guess. It doesn't say anywhere on here the original release date, but yeah, we'll go with 95. So front cover, back cover, sheet inside with pictures of the band, and vinyl, which is super cool. If you saw my haul video, you saw me show it off. This is a holy grail for me as far as records are concerned, as far as vinyl is concerned, because when I got this CD, when I got the CD, it was actually from a friend. The Mighty Mighty Bosstones just came out with their first huge single that went nuts, off of their next record called "Let's Face It." The impression that I get was the single, and it blew up all over the radio. And my friends and I were super into it. We really liked it, and I don't think the CD had come out yet, actually. But my friend Eric said he had a Bosstones CD. I was like, "Oh man, can I borrow it sometime? So I can tape it." We're going way back. And he was like, "Okay." Well, that week we were going on our 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C. Now, we were taking one of those big tour buses and going from Detroit to D.C. takes some time. So I brought my Discman and a whole bunch of CDs and one of those binder things and a bunch of batteries because I figured I'd need them to make it through the ride. Well, when we got into the bus, it was basically me and Eric and my 2 other friends. And he grabbed this out of his bag, imagine this in CD size, and he's like, "Here." I was like, "Oh man, awesome. Does it have the impression that I get on it?" He's like, "No, it doesn't. This isn't the CD. This is the one before." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "I don't really like it that much." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "So you can just have it." I was like, "All right." But I was very hesitant because I just it didn't have the song that I wanted on it, But we got on the bus, we're driving, and I pop it in, put the headphones on, turn the volume up, and I just instantly fall in love with it. Just everything about it, the horns, the beat, the guitars, and Dickie Barrett's voice was just so distinct and so different that I never heard anything like it. And it was just, I had a moment where I was just like, this is it. Just fantastic. So throughout the entire trip, I did not need my binder of CDs because all I listened to was this album over and over and over again. And it just blew me away. Now, going back into their back catalog and looking forward as what they've done in their careers, this album to me stands out because they do so many different things on here as far like musically, different tempos. They change up tempo in the middle of songs. They're a little more experimental. They throw in some jazz stuff. They try their hand at some kind of rap stuff. They go a little more hardcore, but stay true to that ska just dynamic. And it's amazing. Songs on here are Kinder Words, A Sad Silence, Hell of a Hat, Pictures to Prove It, We Should Talk, A Dollar and a Dream, Standoff, 365 Days, Toxic Toast, Bronzing the Garbage, Dogs and Chaplains, and Jump Through the Hoops. It's hard for me to put in words what this album means to me. It was my first ska album. I never was into ska before this. Actually, my dad used to play trumpet back in high school, and not that I didn't like it, it just wasn't my thing. He would play big band music on the radio, and just didn't have the balls that ska had, just as far, that the Bosstones had in particular. They just, you hear the horns and they're horns, but it's just got this punch. It's got a different kind of sound to it. And I've listened to a whole lot of other ska, and as a genre, ska has more punch to it than big band music does. But I don't know, it's something about this band that everything they do is phenomenal. I love it. It's just so good. And this album in particular, like, I remember driving or riding on the bus around DC, around the monuments, and I remember walking to the Abraham Lincoln Monument and listening to this album. I remember driving back from DC to Detroit and stopping off in Gettysburg and taking the tour on the bus in Gettysburg, listening to this album. It's just so good. I mean, the songs touch ground on all sorts of different things. Kinder Words being a song about, the world as a whole kind of needs to be nicer to each other. Hell of a Hat is a song about really kind of concealed and carry weapons. Toxic Toast is reflecting on the past and remembering all the fun times you had as a group of friends. Pictures to Prove It is a song about a failed relationship and, kind of admitting that it happened and making the ex admit that it happened. You can't just sweep it all under the rug. There were those times that you had, and he has pictures to prove it. Just so much. There's so many different themes to the songs, but when you take it as a whole, it all just gels together so well. And at this time in my life, it was just, apparently it was something I was searching for. I never got into ska before this. Even when I listened to Let's Face It, the one song I was looking for, Impression That I Get, it's amazing, but it's not as good as this is. I am so thankful that my friend did not like this album, because without it, I'm not going to say it was life-changing, but it definitely changed my mind and made my tastes more eclectic. It opened up my scope of music that I enjoy. It's just fantastic. If you guys ever get the chance to listen to something, or ever get the need or want or desire to listen to something that's maybe a little bit different, maybe not so much, but enough to just flip a switch on in your brain. Go check this album out. It's super, super good. It's awesome. That's all I'm going to say. It's fantastic. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.